All right, we're live.
Hooray.
Yay.
Happy Black Friday.
Happy Black Friday. Didn't go anywhere.
Same.
I spent it at home because all the Black Friday deals were earlier in the week, so I did all my shopping earlier in the week.
Nice.
Right on. Yeah, I was going to ask, did you guys take advantage of any Black Friday deals?
No.
Yeah, I bought a lot of hard drives.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's a good time for that.
Exciting.
It's not within arm's reach, but I got a desktop-based 8 terabyte one for storage for streams and other recordings.
I'm assuming 8 terabytes has to be plugged into the wall as well.
Yeah.
What's the highest one you guys have seen that's totally portable? For me, it's 5.
That's totally portable? 4 is what I usually see.
I was looking at a 5 today, and I was like, I don't need this right now. I could put everything on it, but I don't need this right now.
Yeah, I think 4 as well.
Yeah, speaking of, I bought like 3 4 terabyte ones as well. One for the Xbox, one for the PS4, and one for the PS5.
Makes sense.
That's the thing is, like, I could plug it into my new systems, but I can't put the new games on them. So I was like, I don't...
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, it's still better than nothing, I guess, at this point. I feel like the Xbox is going to need it. The Xbox Series X is going to need it faster than the PS5.
Oh, I disagree. The PS5's hard drive is smaller.
It's smaller, but all the backwards compatible games that come with the Xbox Series X and all the previous ones would probably fill it up faster.
Sure, and Game Pass will fill it up pretty fast. Yeah.
But most of those games can also be run off of a hard drive. So
unless they keep getting like Series X updates,
yeah,
they're not going to be able to. I don't know. I don't play a lot of older games, so in my lifestyle, I wouldn't use that too often. I keep looking at the expansion card, but it's like so much money. It's ridiculous.
It's very expensive, and it's just going to go down in price next year.
Yeah, and there'll be bigger ones, and I don't know.
Oh, the bigger ones are going to be disgustingly expensive. Like, I have a 1 terabyte memory card in my Switch, and that was disgustingly expensive. So,
right, sure, yeah. I don't know. Now that I have gigabit internet again, I could just re-download this stuff. It's not a big deal.
No.
Yeah.
Paul, did you take advantage of any Black Friday deals?
I did not. There's nothing I'm really pining for right now, so I should have looked for some like 4K Blu-rays or something though. I always forget because I don't buy movies much anymore, but I always like a good deal on a movie.
There were definitely a lot of movies on sale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if I actually bought movies this year.
You usually do.
Yeah.
I've been buying them earlier when I just see the deal like happen.
Yeah.
Like I bought like Knives Out like a couple weeks ago because the 4K dropped to $10. So I was like, well, I was waiting for $10, so here we go.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, not a lot of movies came out this year, so there's less movies to buy at the end of the year.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. I bought some games though. I finally bought Avengers.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay.
Mine was like half price. I think you could have even gotten it a little bit less if you wanted a physical, but I wanted it digital.
Yeah, I got the physical for PS4, and it was like $40 off, $50 off. It was cheaper, much cheaper.
Wow.
I didn't realize that game wasn't co-op the whole time. You have to go through the campaign first, and then you can play with your friend.
Yeah, the demo's like that. So I guess that makes sense.
I didn't play the demo. Yeah, I picked it up, and my buddy got it, and we're like, we're gonna play this together. We're gonna go through it, and then we're like, oh, the campaign's single player. Well, I guess I'll see you in.
No, you can do
40
co-op in
hours.
the parts of the campaign that has co-op in it.
Yeah, you just have to get to those points.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit.
It takes
some
a bit.
Coordination.
It takes coordination, and yeah, it's stupid. It's so fucking stupid.
So, like, what is it after the campaign then? Is it just what is the co-op after the campaign?
Dungeon runs?
Yeah, fight dudes forever.
Okay,
it's a looter beat 'em up. It's a looter beat 'em up, basically.
I guess so.
Yeah. You'd be better off doing Destiny with your buddy.
Yeah. Again, I'm just waiting for the new console update for Destiny, which is like in a week and a half ish.
Yeah.
I finally picked up AI, the Somnomium files from last year.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get to that. It dropped pretty cheap, and I also picked up just kind of out of nowhere. Just kind of got me at the right time, and enough people had kind of mentioned it. That 13 Sentinels.
Yeah,
game,
I actually picked that up too. I'm looking forward to getting into it.
That was half price, and a lot of people were like, "This thing is pretty incredible." It's the Bravely Default team, right? Have that right?
No,
Octopath, yeah.
Wait, 13 Sentinels?
What? Oh, 13 Sentinels? No, that's Vanillaware.
Yeah, that's Vanillaware.
Okay, I had that mistaken.
Vanillaware
Anyway,
did Dragon's Crown.
Yeah.
And
that's what it was. Yes, no, you're right. You're right. I think I was just getting mixed up with some of the art style looking similar to some the default art style. Anyways, I picked up that was half price, and I wasn't even planning to get it. Just all of a sudden, a couple people said something early in the day, and then I saw it half price, and I was like, okay, sure.
This is a title I recognize, but
what are the chances?
I've heard this is really good. I just haven't sat down and started playing it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. What are the chances it gets like some kind of enhancement on the PS5? It's 0, right?
I would probably say 0 because Vanillaware is very slow releasing games.
Maybe load times, just for virtue of the better hardware.
Because it's I guess I'll take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Right on. Happy Thanksgiving to people who in America. John, did you do anything Thanksgiving related?
Sure didn't.
Oh, all right.
I think we ordered like takeout. I think we ordered McDonald's.
Nice. Yeah.
Like it was that kind of. It was just a Thursday, and it was great.
Yeah, Thursdays are pretty great.
I'm not the biggest fan of Thanksgiving food, so it worked out for me.
I'm kind of with you actually on that.
I like turkey.
I like stuffing,
but I'm not a big potato guy.
It depends on who preps the turkey. I found I hated turkey growing up, and then Reese made turkey when we were visiting her family a couple years back, and it was incredible. So I think it just depends on who makes it, and if it's too dry or what.
Yeah,
sure.
That's true.
Anything that's too dry is not very good, but turkey can get dry for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we did basically like a Friendsgiving with the roommates because we're not going outside of our bubble. That's crazy.
Sure.
But it worked out pretty well. I can't wait to see what kind of numbers explode in the next 2 weeks.
Oh god.
For you guys, yeah. Ours have been, so ours have just been going crazy here.
Yeah. Halloween gave it a good kick in the pants, and then
this is kind of interesting. So I'm coming up for Christmas because I have to get another visa.
Sure.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
And I figured if I have to get another visa before January, so I was like, I guess I'll come for Christmas. I don't want to travel. I don't. No. I need a visa. I might as well do it at Christmas. So Alberta has a streamlined COVID testing.
Yeah.
It's 48 hours compared to a 2-week quarantine. I was like, well, that's pretty great. The only way to take advantage of it is to have a direct flight.
Okay.
I don't know what that has to do. Why? How is that any different than if I had a layover in Vancouver? What is the difference? But it says you need a direct flight. There's no direct flights from the Bay Area to Calgary.
Right.
Which sucks.
I think the logic is then we know that COVID is coming from that plane and from that area versus they can't backwards trace it as well.
Okay. What I'm doing, there are direct flights from LA.
You're gonna drive to LA?
LA for no, that's a 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fly to LA. A direct flight from LA to Calgary is $100.
Yeah, no, it's cheap.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane? It's
on a normal time that was cheap, but yeah.
That's crazy. From here to LA, it's like a $25 flight. It's crazy. So I'm gonna hope that because I booked them separately.
Yeah.
You're gonna hope they don't notice.
It'll be seen as a direct flight. There's no connecting. That's my hope. I have no choice. It's either that or
you're basically betting, is the government this stupid?
It's either that or I do a connecting flight and I'm quarantining for 2 weeks. That's my only hope. I have no other option. So wish me luck at the end of next month.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do the podcast.
Okay.
This is Top Down Perspective for November 27th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
John Wheeler.
I guess, John, what have you been playing?
I played a lot of stuff. I played through a game that I was going to talk about, but apparently it won our TDP Plus poll, so now I will be shutting up. So I played Spider-Man Remastered.
Nice. How far did you get?
Finished it. I finished the main campaign.
Sure. You like it?
And I'm very glad I finished that before I even considered starting Miles, because there were a couple things I didn't know in that story that I was like, oh, glad I didn't go in knowing that or not knowing that.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like the stories are pretty separate, aren't they?
Yeah, but there's some characters in situations that I didn't know about and somehow didn't get spoiled on. So I was just like, oh,
okay.
Well, good thing I didn't know that going in.
Oh, okay.
Or good thing I didn't spoil that going in.
Spider-Man. That's a cool final battle. I think the story is pretty engaging.
Yep.
Those last two fights are real good.
Yes.
Yeah. That ending drags on a bit though, because I definitely thought like, oh hey, I'm pretty close to being done at this point. And then 13 hours later, I got credits. So apparently I wasn't as close as I thought.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, that was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm probably gonna go back and do the DLC at some point. I've heard it's but
fine.
I also heard they're pretty self-contained too. I heard 2 hours for the story, 4 for doing everything.
Yeah.
So I'll probably jump through all 3 of those before even considering Miles.
Sure.
Did a bunch of stuff on the Switch. Started playing. I played this little beat 'em up from the arcades called 64th Street. It's a weird beat 'em up that only came out in Japan, didn't come out over here, from 1991. It's very, very weird. Everyone screams a lot in that game.
Nice.
There's just so much screaming, and all you do is destroy like everything around you. Like items are hidden in the walls, so you have to pick up enemies and throw them into the wall so you can grab them.
Okay.
But it was like a fun arcade game that's also really bullshit difficult. Like you can literally get infinitely comboed, which sucks ass, but it was all right. I played Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. That is definitely Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, I saw a bit of this game actually. I was watching a buddy play it. Those the beasts or whatever look fun. Those missions look super fun. Just going around.
I unfortunately have not gotten to those yet.
Killing a bunch of shit.
I've heard mixed things. I've heard they're like one of the weakest parts of the game, and I've heard they're just kind of cathartic.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like the best gameplay because you're just kind of in a giant thing that can kill millions of people. But also you're just like killing 1,000 people in one hit. It's kind of fun. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
I hear it doesn't run very well.
Yeah, remember how bad Hyrule Warriors, how bad Breath of the Wild ran? It runs about the same, maybe worse.
Breath of the Wild running fine.
Breath of the Wild had a lot of issues with the way it ran.
I don't remember that. Okay.
It had like a lot of frame rate issues. This is very similar at times. You can definitely tell they're using a similar engine.
Sure.
And I think it's all because of the grass, because there's just a bunch of like grass you can cut for items and stuff like that. And I think that's part of what's slowing it down, along with all the enemies.
Okay.
Too many, man.
But, yeah, but it's fun. Yeah, but it is very much Hyrule Warriors. If you didn't like Hyrule Warriors, don't even bother. Watch the playthrough. I stick with pretty much what I said last week, Sean, or whenever it was we were talking about.
Is the story worth it though? Is it any good?
I mean, it's kind of like Halo Reach in that you already know how it ends.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that doesn't mean it could be a bad story. Like, is the story engaging that you are playing, or
it's all right.
Is it like is it worth looking up the YouTube video of the story?
I'm not even sure I'd really say that so far.
Okay.
But I'm also not that far into it by all things considered.
All right.
Is Zelda still the worst one?
Yeah, but I had something spoiled for me, and she definitely won't be fully. So.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yep. I guess I saw it coming, but I was also like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
So she like gets powered up at some point, I'm guessing. She's Super Saiyans of some sort.
Yeah, she's Super Saiyans. That's a good way to put it. She's Super
Gotcha.
Saiyans.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, like if you like Hyrule Warriors at all, I would say play that. It's fun, and I don't think it's as long as Hyrule Warriors Vanilla was. So I think this one is tapping out at around 50 hours. Let me see here.
For like completion.
Yeah, how long to beat? How long to beat? Main story 20.5 hours. Completion is 55. So yeah, that's much shorter than.
Didn't you say like 200 or something?
Yeah, 376 hours.
That's so stupid.
That's the definitive edition. The original release on the Wii U was 204. So yeah,
So
a
dumb.
little shorter.
Yeah.
It's a little shorter.
I couldn't even. That's like it's like more than an hour a day for a whole year. I couldn't even imagine dedicating that kind of time to that.
I mean, to be fair, there's only one other thing I've dedicated that much time to, and that's what I've also played this week. It's Picross S5.
Nice.
Picross is back, baby, and I'm
What's
never
a new
free
thing?
from it.
What's a new thing now?
No new thing. No new thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's just 460 something puzzles again.
All right, here we go
It's just
again.
a disgusting amount of puzzles again. They have everything that basically, if you played S4, you've played S5 because it's like 150 normal puzzles, 150 of the Mega Picross, 100 something of the Clip Picross puzzles. There's the color 30 color puzzles. There's
do you ever
5
wonder
super
like
giant ones if you've owned the other ones.
you ever wonder if like when you're doing one of these puzzles, you're on Picross S5. This is your 20th Picross game. You ever just stop and think, have I done this exact puzzle? I just forgot because
I have thought in that
Yeah.
numerous times with the past like 3 Picross games. I'm like
what is the odds
I've
that
drawn this.
that there's only actually like 200 Picross puzzles? Like maybe like from a
there's
mathematical
gotta be a
standpoint,
finite amount,
there's
right?
gotta
Like
be-
you're not
exactly.
wrong.
Yeah.
So they just make each one of them and then they just keep mixing them up and selling it as a new number, and you're just shoveling it in your mouth. Like
Yeah.
that has
Give me more,
to be the
give me
case,
more.
right? Yeah, you're just like, this is great. I've never had this puzzle when you've had it like every year since you were like 8 or whatever.
This is dangerous thinking, Sean.
It is very
They put people
dangerous
away
I'm-
for looking too far behind the veil.
thinking.
Yeah,
The
that's-
infinite Picross theory.
Follow the money. Like the big Picross is out there just raking in millions.
I've been thinking about that too. Like the only thing Jupiter really does is make Picross games. Like how
Yeah.
are they afloat with just Picross games? Like I think they did their first non-Picross game last year.
I'm telling you,
Might
the
even have been this
development time is like 15 minutes
Yeah.
because they just say like they wrote an algorithm that just says give me 60 Picrosses from our library,
Yeah.
and we'll sell it for $15 or
I mean,
whatever.
they built the engine years ago, so yeah, they just have to plug it in now. for
Exactly.
sure.
They
True,
fired
yeah, it is the
everybody
same
except
engine.
one dude.
You're probably right. It actually probably is like a desk with 2 people at it.
I'm still waiting for this like Picross Sega version to come out. It still hasn't
Yeah.
come out. I don't know why that one keeps
See-
getting delayed.
See, you guys, that's good. It's the same puzzles, but now they're colored blue.
Yeah.
The loading screens have
Here's a
Sonic
tree.
face on them. Yeah, that's all it is. You're complete
Here's a
suckers,
cat.
and they know it. They have
Yeah.
you right in the palm of their hand.
I love it.
I'm
I can't
honestly
get
shocked
enough.
there isn't like a subreddit out there of people like trying to compare and be like, look, these are the exact same puzzle. Look, I found them.
There might be.
I cracked the code.
There's got to be a Discord. Like I want to believe that that's a thing. That there's an underground group doing this stuff.
Oh my god. Yeah. You're going to get a
Yeah,
message
like,
after
I-
TDP.
Yeah, I've looked up everything that they've done in the past couple years. Like it's all on Wiki. There's a bunch of stuff back in the day that was different. Like they did Pokemon Pinball, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jupiter and
Like
Hal
that-
Laboratory worked on that. So yeah, the original
Game Boy
Pokemon
one?
Pinball was them. Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously the Game Boy Advance one. Yeah, they were involved in both. But like all they've done since the 3DS, with one or two exceptions, is Picross.
Nice.
They also apparently worked on RPG Maker for 3DS. Then it's like the Final Fantasy Picross game, Club Nintendo Picross E 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, Pokemon Picross, Sanrio Picross, Twilight Princess Picross, Picross S 1 2 3 4, Kimono Friends Picross Lords of Zambrick. Working Zombies is the last normal game that they've done in years.
Nice.
I mean, they're like, hey, it prints money. Like, we got it.
It probably does, to be fair. I've
Yeah.
bought
And
every
it-
bloody Picross game, so it must.
No, it's
Oh, yo, they made a Metabots game. Hell yeah. But yeah, that's all.
I'm sure the Picross funds them being able to make these other like smaller side stuff that probably don't do as well.
I am wondering how Working Zombies actually did. But yeah, like they've done so many Picross games.
All right, is that all you
that's all I've
played?
been playing. Yep.
Paul, have you played anything?
I jumped into that new WoW expansion in between bouts of I felt quite ill this last week, so that's kind of all I've been doing. Nothing new to report there. It's just kind of more of that game. So, but no, not really.
Right.
What about you?
I've been playing a whole bunch of Miles Morales because I finally wrapped up Ghost of Tsushima, so I can move on to another open world game. I think I'm near the end. I'm pretty sure I'm near the end.
If you've been playing a bunch, I'm surprised you haven't
comparison.
finished it. It's really short.
I've been doing a bunch of the side stuff. I don't think I'm going to do all of the side stuff because I have so many games to play right now. But I did a bunch. I like the little bait you get after you do all of the like challenges.
The what you get? Sorry.
You get a boss battle after you complete all of the stealth, combat, and agility challenges.
Yeah, it's good.
The mission's like the final something.
Yeah,
that's a fun mission. I liked that quite a bit.
That's funny.
I think I'm just about near the end. It's definitely ramping up to a big crescendo. So
yeah, Hell on the Beach does not have it at very long. So
yeah. It's Nolan North. He voices the bad guy, right? Or am I crazy? I'm like waiting for the like the credits, but that guy. It sounds so much like Nolan North.
Maybe.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I was just wondering if it also like jumped out to you, being like, "Hey, that's an angry Nathan Drake."
You're right. It does kind of sound like him, actually. I never even considered it though. Yeah.
Anyways, good game. Cool costumes. I think I like the costumes more from Spider-Man.
Which I guess makes sense. It's more. They definitely had more of a game there. Like,
well, I think there's just kind of more history for Spider-Man, so there's weirder stuff like Bagman and 2099 and Miles has some cool ones too. Paul, I want to ask you what were some of your favorites because I definitely have some favorites.
I can't tell you. You haven't beaten the game yet. The best one's at the end of the game.
Oh, best one's at the game. I like the Daft Punk looking one. That one's pretty cool.
I like all of his like ones that are like spray painted or like homemade looking. I don't like any of the like techno ones at all.
I think I'm the opposite. I also like the one that's just his regular suit, but with like winter clothes on, like a hat. And
that
one's
scarf. Cute. Yeah,
that one's pretty fun and a pretty great moment when
the way you get it is really nice too. Yeah.
I don't remember what this one was called, but it's like really red and he has like a red hood.
I think it might literally just be called like Red Hood or something. Like, yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I don't think it is, but I liked that one quite a bit too. But right now I'm rocking that Daft Punk one. It is extremely goofy and stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to wrapping that up. I also started Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Okay.
So if we're talking about games where they just kind of keep making the same game over and over.
Yeah.
Like John, I'm also playing one of those. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is Assassin's Creed once again.
Yeah.
This time so you play Ivor, who is either a man or a woman. In the last game where they had a man or a woman, you just chose which character you want to play as.
Yeah.
And they just swapped the roles with your brother or sister. So if you played as Cassandra, you should have. What are you doing? And Alexios was the bad guy.
Right.
If you played as Alexios, Cassandra just because of that guy. The way they do it this time is during like one of the opening cutscenes, the screen starts to like shake and be jagged. Like you play it kind of like Ivor as a child in a very like kind of non-binary. You don't know if it's a boy or a girl because they're just kind of so young and their heads shaved and everything.
Sure.
And then near the end of the cutscene, it's like it's doing its Assassin's Creed, like, yo, what's happening to the Animus? And the explanation is like, oh, there's 2 data streams here. Which one do you want? But there's a third option. You get 3 options. You get male Ivor, you get female Ivor, or the default is you get both.
Okay.
So this one's new to Assassin's Creed. So I picked that one. My assumption, because I'm only about 3 hours or so into the game, is the way they explain it is whichever DNA stream is stronger at that point in the time, you'll play as that version of Ivor. So I think it's just going to
Oh,
switch back and forth based on story moments.
okay, sure.
I mean, that's
So
kind
you
of neat.
Yeah.
You start as female Ivor, which to me says, okay, this is the one. Like, I'm curious what the final missions character is going to be. If it's also the female, I feel like that's just the definitive one. But anyways, you start as female Ivor. I've only played as female Ivor. I feel like once they do a swap, if I'm correct, they switch it at a random, not a random, at a specific,
Predetermined. Yeah.
predetermined time to be male Ivor. I'm going to be like, huh, I was right. And then I'm just going to go back and make it female Ivor for the whole time because it looks way cooler.
Oh, you
but I
can
just wanted to see.
can you just change that later, or are you talking about restarting?
You can just change that whenever you want.
Oh, okay.
This is like the 15th Assassin's Creed game. You can pretty much do whatever you want. It is not doing anything special. It looks good. Everything looks real cold. Good snow in there.
Okay.
It's just more Assassin's Creed. I haven't done any of the Out of the Animus stuff, so I'm kind of curious what's up with that nonsense. But I also do not care and can't believe they're still doing Out of Animus nonsense. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else kind of really new about it. You can like upgrade your equipment. That's kind of new. You get a hidden blade. You're an assassin.
Sure.
Bow and arrow. It plays the same as the other ones.
You're doing a great job selling us on this game.
It's just another one of those. Like it is much like Picross S5. It is just another one of those. They took all the same puzzles and put it in this with a fresh coat of paint.
It's literally the same storyline somehow.
I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think this one is going to butt up with Assassin's Creed 1's time frame. I may have misheard that or misread that. So I'm actually kind of interested if something's going to happen there, if they might like reference some stuff. You know, it's fine. It's a good one. You get a big horn so you can call your longship.
Nice.
Lots of big fur coats. An axe, which is kind of cool. Ivor is just kind of a cool character. From reading like Reddit and stuff, people seem to say this is their favorite of the 3 of the trilogy.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
It sounds like if you're not in though, this isn't going to change anything for you because it's still that.
Guess not. But at the same time, this one has sold the best of any Assassin's Creed, so clearly it did something.
It also was a launch title for a system, so didn't like Black Flag have that for a while too? Because that was a launch.
What I heard, because we talked about it last week, the one that did the best before this
3,
was
wasn't it?
3, yeah. Which is also one of the worst Assassin's Creed games. So I don't know what to tell you. Black Flag, that's a good Assassin's Creed game. Let's talk about Black Flag. You're a pirate. All these islands.
All right.
That boat game they were working on ever come out? The one that they said was just going to be Black Flag's like ship gameplay?
They delayed that. What is the name of that one?
Isn't it like Skulls and Crossbones?
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, who knows what's happening with that? Anyway, Valhalla. If you like Assassin's Creed, you're already playing this or you're not. I don't know.
No.
I think it's already $40 on a Black Friday sale. So go ahead and get it, I guess. Last game. I played through all of Full Throttle this week.
The 1995
like
Full
game?
Throttle?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I played through the remastered one.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Someone dared me. No, I'm kidding.
I could believe that. That's why I'm asking.
Someone dared me.
I had a spare like 3 hours, and I was like, I should play through this. I want to do Day of the Tentacle as well, because that was also on Game Pass, the remastered at the same time. I did Full Throttle because it's shorter from my readings. I did go through that with a guide, and thank God I did, because some of the stuff I read and had to do, there is no way I would have ever guessed that.
Yeah.
That is
old LucasArts.
That's how LucasArts VAs were, or not VAs, adventure games were.
Yeah. There's some absolute horse shit. If you were gonna guess your way through that stuff, like holy smokes. So I would recommend, if you're gonna play through Full Throttle, get a guide. It'll just make it better. that story's fun.
Sure.
Enjoyed that story a good chunk. There's some real goofy things that happen. The bunnies with the landmines, that was weird. Yeah, that was a good game. I'm glad I played it. I don't know if I played any of the LucasArts adventure games.
Oh wow!
I thought you played one of the Monkey Islands for some reason.
Oh, I played a little bit of the first. I don't even think it might have been the first one. One of them was on Xbox Live Arcade that I played a bit of that one.
That was Secret Monkey Island. That was the first one.
Okay, was it? Okay, I played a little bit of that. That's
1
true.
and 2 were on there. They both got remakes.
Yeah, the remaster looks great. I should say you can turn off the remastered graphics if you like in the settings, and then it just goes back to the terrible looking pixel art. But I'm always a fan when you have a remastered that you have the option of doing either or. It's always pretty cool.
I like that.
The remastered looks so nice. Like it looks like a modern game. So those are some pretty good ports. Or I guess I shouldn't say ports. Those are great remasters.
Sure.
And yeah, that's all I played this week. So let's get through some news. Starting with
Paul, did you not play anything?
Just some WoW expansion, but no, not really.
Oh, okay. Then don't want to talk about it? Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about. You like WoW? It's still there. This is new shit.
Hey, WoW still exists. Shocking.
It somehow still exists. Yeah. So what's his news? I haven't been tuned in at all.
Phil Spencer says, expect an Xbox app for your smart TVs in 2021.
Why is there not a Twitch app for smart TVs? That's really annoying to me. The one thing I need to actually use my phone to Chromecast.
That would require Twitch having a budget that they can use.
Yeah, it would require them doing something
using
like
it correctly, I should say.
Yeah.
I don't know what the state of it now is, but I remember most smart TV interfaces suck. And don't you already have like 9 things hooked up to the TV that can play the Twitch app pretty well?
No, I have a Chromecast. What do you have? I don't use consoles. Like, what else would I have?
I have a whole bunch of consoles. I also have a Chromecast. I bought Stadia, man. I got Chromecast Ultra.
I'm in there, man.
Congratulations, you waste your money a lot. It's fine.
Fine.
You have an Ouya somewhere.
I don't have an Ouya somewhere.
Oh, I thought you had.
Come on, John, back me up here. We buy weird game stuff.
I buy weird games, but I buy it for work.
Buy it for play. Hard play hard.
It's true. I don't know if you know this about Sean, but he plays
games, son. Anyways, this makes perfect sense. Like xCloud is definitely going to be on a smart TV sooner or later, and that's great for them.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Red Dead Online is getting a standalone version on December 1st. It'll be 75% off, so you can get that for $5. Otherwise, it'll go back up to $20 on February 15th. So you have some time.
Okay, that's cool.
The standalone version of Red Dead Online will require 123 gigabytes of space.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, say that number again.
It's 123 gigabytes for just Red Dead Online.
Man, that has to be the biggest disparity between the price you pay and how much it takes up on your console or your
$5? Yeah, maybe.
$5 for 120 gigs worth of shit? Oof.
That's just a deal. That's how you say it to your mom. But mom, it's 123 gigabytes of game.
That's crazy.
So much game. That was me growing up like wanting Mario Party and being like, there's 50 games in here, mom.
So crazy.
It makes sense. I'm surprised Grand Theft Auto Online hasn't done this. But
yeah.
It doesn't seem like it needs to do anything. This is probably a play to try and get more people playing Red Dead Online.
For sure. Yeah. This actually news I did see and I'm very stoked about.
Ah, yes.
The World Ends With You?
Yeah. Neo, The World Ends
So we got a trailer for the sequel. Neo, The World Ends With You, coming to PS4 and Switch. Not PS5? What? Why?
I was confused by that too, which means it's probably been in development for a while if they didn't put it on PS5.
Right, but it's also still going to be in development for a while because it's coming in summer of 2021. I wouldn't be surprised if they got delayed.
Everything gets delayed. I wouldn't be surprised if it got delayed, and B, I wouldn't be surprised if they were holding off to see if. So here's the thing: I am legitimately shocked that they let him make a second "The World Ends With You," Nomura, because like it's a cult classic, but like it didn't sell the best from what I heard. Like even the re-release was basically a test to see if there was going to be another one, and I guess it worked if we're getting Neo.
And there's also an anime,
But,
A World That Ends With You anime.
Yeah.
So
I'm almost surprised to hear it didn't sell well because they keep bringing out ports of it. Like it was on phones, then they did the Switch version. There's the anime. Like it seems like it's bringing in a decent amount.
But both of those versions didn't control as well as the original is the thing, because it was designed for both screens, which is why Neo World Ends With You plays completely differently. So
this has to be because of the re-release, right? It has to be.
This is definitely because of the re-release.
For sure.
They're definitely doing it on PS4 and Switch because they want the ones with the install bases. That's entirely what it is.
For sure.
Yeah.
And besides, PS4 version works on PS5 anyways. So
you get that install base and all the good stuff. I'll probably play it. I don't remember any of the story, but I'll probably play it.
Would you revisit it? Or no? Just look up like a video of it? I think I would revisit the original before playing this.
I forget how long the original game is.
I don't remember it being too long, but I also remember playing it handheld on road trips and stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah. Main game, 25 and a half hours.
Yeah, that's not that bad for an RPG.
Completionist, 136.
Yeah, let's not look at that number.
Yeah, let's ignore that number.
I feel like this far apart away from that first game, like you don't need to play the first one. Like they will tell you whatever you need to know because they're going to want new people playing it anyway.
But here's the thing, like people are unsure if this is like a prequel or a sequel because the phones are modern, but there are some characters there that shouldn't be. So
I wouldn't even know.
There's people have been questioning things about it. So
honestly, I need to read the Wikipedia page just to remember what happens in this game because the only thing I can really remember is there's that mini game that's kind of like Pogs.
Tin Pin Slammer. Oh,
yep.
The best and the worst part about that game.
Yeah.
Yep. That's also why it takes 136 hours to complete.
Oh.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla has a dice mini game.
I thought you were going to say it has Pog. I thought you were going to say it has a Pog minigame. I was going to get real excited.
No, Pogs were not invented. It
wouldn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, I'm stopping everything for a second. I need to ask John a question. John, have you played Like a Dragon?
No, I have it for Xbox.
Fuck. Okay.
Series X.
Continue on. Podcast continue. Let's go.
I can't find that damn fucking console. I'll keep trying.
Okay. God.
I get it. It works for Xbox One, but I'm just like, eh.
Yeah.
Miles Morales. Let's play Spider-Man instead.
I feel you. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of Spider-Man, the rest of the stuff, the Discord sentence, I'm not as familiar. Spider-Man game saves can now transfer from PS4 to PS5.
Boy, I'm glad that happened after I beat the game.
Yeah.
You were going to start over anyway, you said.
I was going to start over anyways, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense that happened.
Oh, and the new suits are back. Oh, go back to the old version. Neat.
Mario Maker, what's this?
Mario Maker, yeah. So they're going to stop support for Mario Maker Wii U March 31st. You will not be able to buy it after January 13th.
Okay.
Pretty sure that.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that part.
Sure, the 3DS version they are still going to be supporting, which is bananas to me.
Oh, that is weird.
I'm pretty sure that's the same server they pull from, though.
I don't know enough about that 3DS one because I don't care.
Sure.
I wish they had done more with Mario Maker 2.
Yeah.
Someone says you can still play the levels, but you can't upload new ones.
Oh.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, Nintendo really just stopped caring about Mario Maker pretty quick, huh?
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
It is.
All right, this last one was sent in specifically for John's Museum.
What?
Killer Queen arcade machines back on sale. There's a Black Friday discount. They're only $10,000 right now.
Y'all fucking think I got room for 2 Killer Queen machines? You know how big that machine is?
$1,000 per player.
John, if you wait, it's going back up to $15,000.
I mean, in the actual like arcade business, yes, that's a steal.
Yeah, it is. Man.
But again, I don't have room for it. I don't have room for that mini Neo Geo cabinet I wanted. Like, I ain't got room for it. So, and that one would require some workaround. Nothing like the size of the Killer Queen arcade machine, which is 2 gigantic cabinets.
Anyone listening, now's your chance. Get this weekend $5,000 off. That's 33% off. Don't miss out.
Yeah. Yeah, if you run a bar, this is a great deal. Like, why not? Like an arcade of some sort?
If you run a bar, it's closed right now.
Yeah, probably. Unless you're here.
That's a good point.
If you run a bar, you probably do not have some extra cash to buy an arcade machine that only you can play.
I don't know. Have you seen that Alberta hasn't closed still?
Yes, and the numbers continue to go higher.
Yeah. There's a lot of bars here that are probably very open right now.
Still open. We right before the last report they did, we drove by a nearby pub and there were people in there playing pool. No problem. They didn't give a shit.
Beautiful. Oh, I love it. Oh, Alberta.
Oh my god. All right. Let's do some questions. We have a whole bunch because we have last week's questions. If you would like to make these episodes even longer, you can send a question in to topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. I almost want to set a timer because we have so many, just rapid fire. Kimberly writes, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, and I always forgot how bad I am at rhythm games until I try to play one. Are there any game mechanics that you forget you're bad at until you are playing a game that uses them? And there's a follow-up we'll get to next. I can't think of one.
Simulation sports, knowing what the fuck football plays are.
Just knowing what is the sport.
Yeah, they're saying QuickTime events. I'm not bad at QuickTime events. I just fucking hate them because I've never liked them.
Yeah, they're not as bad if you know they're coming. If you don't know they're coming, no, that will piss you off. Like Resident Evil 4, that was one of the biggest things.
The first time they've just thrown in.
You're like, all right, well,
yep.
There goes that boulder, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, QuickTime events suck.
I'm fine with QuickTime events. I don't have any problems with QuickTime events. I like Asura's Wrath, so I would be a hypocrite to say I dislike QuickTime events. I would say
that's all QuickTime events. Have you run Asura's Wrath in your Xbox Series X yet? Because apparently it looks really nice.
I wouldn't doubt it. I have not, though. There's a follow-up question here. Are there any game franchises that you wouldn't mind seeing turned into a rhythm game? Try not to pick franchises that already have them. Example, Persona and Kingdom Hearts.
Final Fantasy. No.
Oh.
No, it already has one.
That one part in 7's pretty good. It already does have them, you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
Does Yakuza have one?
Karaoke minigame.
Okay.
Although I would love for a dedicated game that is just the karaoke cutscenes from Yakuza. That'd be great.
One of the things I really liked about that Mario Run is it almost kind of had a rhythm game feel to it where you were pushing the thing to make him jump because he kept running. If you rhythm gamed that, I think that could be cool.
Mario has a rhythm game. It's Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix, and I have that for the GameCube.
He's right. There's a platforming rhythm game out there now. I think it's like Mad Rat Dead or something like that. So it's like a platforming game that you just play to the beat.
Yeah, I've been meaning to try BPM, that Doom clone that you shoot to the rhythm.
Oh, yeah. I saw that one too. And then there was a shmup that Harmonix did.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess the answer is no.
A lot of things have already had rhythm games.
Everything should be a rhythm game. Every franchise.
I want a driving rhythm game. Give me Burnout, but as a rhythm game.
Wouldn't that be
There is that game. I can't remember what it is.
Audio Surf, kind of?
Kind of.
I wouldn't really call it Audio Surf.
You wouldn't call Audio Surf Audio Surf?
I wouldn't call Audio Surf a Burnout rhythm game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're not crashing, but you are driving down a lane.
Yeah, but I want crashing cars to the beat and stuff like that. I just want a racing game.
Okay.
A racing rhythm game.
Sure.
That'd be neat. All right, next question.
Grappa the Rappa has the driving stage.
Next question from Lineback. What games series would you like the Yakuza devs to work on? A big one for me would be F-Zero. That's a great suggestion.
I would love to see them do an F-Zero.
Yep.
F-Zero, sure, yeah. Like, what are you getting if you pick the Yakuza devs? You're gonna get
I want to see them do a Mario game.
Okay.
I want to see them do a Mario game.
That'd be interesting.
Well, I mean, like again, what are you taking from here? Like, are you getting like all this storytelling? Are you getting like the wacky
the storytelling
cutscenes?
and the insanity? Yeah.
Okay, so it's like, what do you kind of want to put into that? Like, Mario with any kind of storytelling would be something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's Mario Sunshine, but yeah.
They should do a Devil May Cry.
That's a really good answer. I think they should. Yeah, that's a good. I like that one. I would love to see them do a take on Assassin's Creed. The stories in Assassin's Creed are just lame.
That'd also be good. Final Insanity writes in and says, with 2 questions. 1, would it be fair for me to have an opinion on the game as a whole if I only enjoyed what I did because it was on an easier difficulty? Yeah. Who the fuck cares if you played on different difficulty? Just leave that comment in. Like, like I played it. I loved it. Like I played it on easy.
Unless your opinion was it was too easy. That is like, well, you could have gone up in difficulty. Then.
Don't play on easy. It's just too easy. The normal, too hard.
Yeah,
you need.
That's true. If your opinion directly correlates to the difficulty at that point, it's like, well, okay, you shot yourself in the foot here.
Yeah,
I think what they're kind of getting at is like the whole Sekiro argument of like people wanting Sekiro to have an easy mode, and then a lot of other people being like, the game is designed to not be easy. I think that's kind of what that's my impression what they're hinting towards.
I've always been so wishy-washy on that argument. Like, I get accessibility is way better. I get wanting to have more people playing your game. But they're right. There are some games that are just not designed to be easy. And
that's up to the dev.
I think
if the devs say there's not going to be an easy mode, you have to respect that. It's whatever. Then move on, play another game.
I fall on the side of like putting in an easy mode does not take away from like the default or the standard mode.
Also that, yeah.
No, I mean, I don't care, but if the devs don't want to, that's up to them.
Yeah, no way am I going to say like every game needs to have an easy mode. Like, what are you doing, dev?
Yeah.
But I also just don't think like I think Sekiro would be fine if it had an easier or a more accessible mode. It's not going to ruin anyone else's achievement for finishing it on the standard difficulty.
Sure.
Yeah. Second question, have you ever had an experience where you made a game better or worse for yourself due to a mistaken assumption, difficulty related or otherwise? I have definitely played a number of games and just not remembered having a certain move or item. I've definitely had a bunch of games where I'm like, man, I'm out of healing items, and then getting to like one of the storage chests and be like, oh, I left them all there. Okay, sweet.
Yep, that's a huge one for me. Forgetting that, or like you forgot that you had a thing you could do that to like make a part easier. That is definitely a thing.
Nothing's coming to mind. All right, next one from Valcor. MB. Since the new consoles just came out and have what some call a lackluster launch title lineup, what consoles throughout history have had the best and worst launch titles? I think the 3DS had one of the worst launch titles.
3DS one was pretty sad. I think the most purchased game was a port of Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, it was a bad port of Street Fighter 4, and isn't it the submarine game?
Oh yeah, Steel Diver.
Steel Diver.
I guess there was the Pilot Wings. There was a Pilot Wings Resort as well.
Yeah,
I remember getting the Bubble Bobble game that came out, or Bust a Move.
I specifically did not get a game, and I think that's the first time I ever didn't get a game with my new console because it was just there was nothing good. And they even had to like drop the price of the 3DS, give people a bunch of free downloadable.
No, the ambassador thing, yeah.
I don't think the Switch's launch lineup was particularly good, but because it has Breath of the Wild, it's like super meaningful for me, at least.
Breath of the Wild carried the Switch launch. Let's be real.
Yeah. Because other than that, what are you looking at?
For Bomberman.
Bomberman, and then 1-2 Switch.
Oh yeah, that hot title. Dreamcast had Sonic Adventure, which was a big thing for a lot of people. The N64 had Mario 64, and I think it had one other game. I think that was actually that might have been the only game. What were the launch titles for N64 other than Mario? Was it Pilot Wings?
Was it
as
Pilot
well?
Wings?
Pilot Wings.
It might have been.
I think it was Pilot Wings.
N64 launch games. Yeah, in North America, just Mario 64 and Pilot Wings.
Yeah.
Oh man, in Europe they had those two, Shadows of the Empire and Turok 1. So that was a better launch.
That was better for them. Yeah.
Yeah, Japan had 3 titles and North America had 2. It launched with a shogi game in Japan. Wow.
So the Wii would have been Wii Sports, Twilight Princess, Red Steel.
Yep.
Mm.
That's all I can remember.
I remember Metal Slug Anthology, but I think that might have been a month or 2 later.
Okay.
And it also had the Virtual Console at launch, I believe, too, because I remember getting Gunstar Heroes. And I think Mario 64. So that was one of the big things with Virtual Console.
Twilight Princess was a huge deal, but I think like Wii Sports alone is awesome.
Yeah. I'd say the Wii probably had one of the stronger ones.
Can you think of any launch titles that had, or launch lineups that had like 2 really solid games? Because we're listing a lot of like, it was crap except for this one thing.
What did 360 launch with?
Cameo.
Oh yeah, Perfect Dark Zero.
Geometry Wars?
Did any of the PlayStations launch with 2 good titles? What did the PS4
launched with?
Wow, PS4 had 360 launched with a lot of stuff actually.
Did it?
Amp 3, Call of Duty 2, Condemned, FIFA, Gun, Cameo, Madden, NBA Live, Need for Speed Most Wanted, NHL, Perfect Dark Zero, King Kong, the official game of the movie, Project Gotham Racing 3, Quake 4, Ridge Racer 6, Tiger Woods, and Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. And then Xbox Live Arcade. So
I think Geometry Wars would have been in that one, right?
Yeah, Geometry Wars was there, and so was Hexic and Bejeweled 2.
Hexic.
Bank Shot Billiards 2, Hardwoods Backgammon.
PS4 would have had like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. It had Resogun, which I really like.
Oh yeah, Resogun. Oh man.
No, PS4 had Rivals, Need for Speed Rivals.
Oh, is it Rivals? Okay, yes, you're right. Is Killzone Shadowfall a launch title?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was.
I think that was their big thing, right?
What did PS2 have?
I don't remember PS2 at all.
I found an article.
I actually kind of really like the PS5s because I like Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I like Astrobot. And then Demon Souls is obviously a huge deal for people in that one.
All right, so PS1 had Air Combat, which is like the first game before Ace Combat became a thing. Ballerina to Shinden, ESPN Extreme Games, Kiliak, the DNA Imperative, which I've never heard of, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, Power Serve 3D Tennis, The Raiden Project, which is a shmup, Rayman 1, Ridge Racer, Street Fighter the Movie the Game, Total Eclipse Turbo, and Zero Divide. PS2 had a lot more. Oh, PS2 had some decent stuff here. Armored Core 2, Dead or Alive 2, Hardcore, Dynasty Warriors 2, bunch of ESPN games, Eternal Ring, Evergrace, Fantavision, Gun Griffin Blaze, Kessen, Madden, Midnight Club 1, MotoGP, NHL, Orphan, Billiards, Ready to Rumble Round 2, Ridge Racer 5, Silent Scope 1, Smuggler's Run, which is one I remember being good, SSX 1, Street Fighter EX3, Summoner, Swing Away, Tekken Tag Tournament, Time Splitters 1, Unreal Tournament 1, Wild Wild Racing, and X Squad.
Tekken Tag was fun. That was a good one.
It's amazing how many of these lists are kind of similar. PS3, Blast Factor, Call of Duty 3, Genji 1, Madden, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Gundam Crossfire, NBA, both of them, Need for Speed Carbon, Resistance 1, Ridge Racer 7, Tony Hawk's Project 8, Tiger Woods, and Untold Legends.
Man, I love Ridge Racer games. Those were fun.
I like how like three of the PS3s or PlayStation systems launched with a Ridge Racer.
With a Ridge Racer, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your favorite one? What's your favorite launch lineup?
I think the Wii might actually be it because of how
Wii was pretty good. What was GameCube? It was like Luigi's Mansion,
Luigi's Mansion, and Wave Race.
Wasn't the Rogue Legacy or Squadron or whatever the flying?
Oh, I think Rogue.
And Rogue Squadron 2. Yeah, you're right.
That's not a bad one.
That was okay.
What else was on that list? Super Monkey Ball 1.
That's
another good one.
That was a pretty good launch.
Actually, yeah.
I like those games.
GameCube. US launch, All-Star Baseball 2002, Batman Vengeance, Crazy Taxi 1, Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX 2, Tarzan Untamed, Luigi's Mansion, Madden, NHL Hits, Rogue Squadron 2, Monkey Ball 1, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, and Wave Race Blue Storm. That's actually not a bad list.
That's not bad.
And then Wii U would have been something weird like Nintendo Land, New Super Mario Bros. U, Batman Arkham Edition, Arkham Asylum Electric Edition, or whatever that one was.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I'm getting it now. Hang on, I'll find that list for you.
Assassin's Creed 3?
Yes, Assassin's Creed 3, Batman Arkham City Armored Edition.
Armored Edition.
This list is surprisingly big. Ben 10, Omniverse, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Chasing Aurora, Darksiders 2, Epic Mickey 2, ESPN, FIFA, Funky Barn, It's Farming, Game Party Champions, Just Dance 4, Little Inferno, Madden, Mass Effect 3, Mighty Switch Force, Nano Assault Neo, NBA, New Super Mario Bros. U, Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, Nintendo Land, Rabbids Land, Scribblenauts Unlimited, Sing Party, Skylanders Giants, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform. Were these all at launch? That's surprising. Tekken Tag Tournament 2.
Ports, though, right?
Yeah, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Transformers Prime, Trine 2, Warriors Orochi 3, Wipeout 3, Your Shape, Fitness Evolved 2013, and Zombie U.
Zombie U, right.
Dreamcast is my answer, actually. I'm looking at the full list now. I loved House of the Dead 2. I loved Soul Calibur. Power Stone I loved. Mortal Kombat Gold was great. Like, it's Dreamcast for me.
Yeah, there are a lot of good games on the
I'll give it to
Dreamcast.
that.
Yeah. What did the original Game Boy launch with?
All right, next question. Decoy Troy has a few here. Okay, first one. Are there any games where bug or crash prevented you from finishing it? John?
Shush. Well, Miles, though, was it Spider-Man had some ridiculously terrible glitches. Holy crap, that remastered was super glitchy. Like I literally had things like not spawn in, so I had to walk as a character to like a building, and I just fell through the ground numerous times. I had to like restart everything.
There's a problem with Spider-Man. You got to swing there. What are you walking around?
I wasn't
for?
At the time. I was Miles. I was just walking.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
I've definitely had a crash or bug where my save was corrupted and I wasn't going to play through the whole game again. That has definitely happened.
Yeah, I've had that happen with like Final Fantasy 1, I think.
Yeah, it was with an RPG, I'm sure, of some sort.
I've had a lot of games break. I can't name any in particular, but I know it happens all the fucking time.
Yeah. Or like something you need to spawn in to like do a checkpoint so that the game can continue and it doesn't. That happens. Usually it fixes itself sometimes, but that definitely happens. Okay, second question. When putting together Game of the Year lists, there's plenty of games that were released in previous years but only received a port to PC or other console. Only this year received a port to PC or other console. Would you consider those eligible? Yes, absolutely. Those are eligible. Why wouldn't they be?
Yeah.
Or would you put them in the last year category?
No, Horizon Zero Dawn came out on PC this year. It counts for PC this year.
Sure. Yeah.
I think you have to specify specifically that version because yeah. But yeah.
But then otherwise, it's like, how much money do you have to spend on consoles literally when they come out? Because you're the only person that can talk about the games that come out that year. Then that's stupid. It's just like, well, this came out last year on a PS4. I didn't have a PS4, so like, why wouldn't my opinion count? So yeah. And last question: do you think true ending should be locked behind 100% clearing a game? From an accessibility standpoint, there are certain challenges that are too difficult for some one-time trials, logic puzzles, enemy gauntlets. Should that determine if they get to experience the full story? It looks like there's a second part to this.
I'm gonna say no, because I rarely do that.
I like something to strive for, so I like when I get something for 100%ing a game. I don't think you should be required for like a true ending to 100% it though.
I think it depends on the way the story's written.
You should read the follow-up because it's pretty tied into this, and we're going to be answering both.
Okay. Also, what are some good rewards for 100% completion, since that usually means you're now done with the game and most rewards would be made useless? Okay, I see.
Unlimited modes are usually one of the better rewards, like if there's some limited feature in the game.
Yeah.
I was thinking of this because like if you get like a cool new weapon, that sucks because you're like done with the game.
Yeah.
So, like where are you going to use the weapon? One that I actually kind of liked, if the game has like a decent multiplayer mode that you care about in some way, is getting some kind of cosmetic. And I think of specifically Burnout Paradise. If you do like everything, you get a special car that's just covered in like diamonds. And I just had that one equipped at all times. And then when I was doing the multiplayer stuff, I had this like baller car. So I like that. I think that's a cool one to get.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking like unlimited modes in like certain games. Like if you like say like Devil Trigger and a Devil May Cry, usually when you beat it on a certain difficulty, you get like the unlimited to Devil Trigger, so you can just like cruise through the rest of the game or like stuff like that.
Sure.
But also those kind of games, there's a problem is like then you're talking about games that are also designed to be beaten on harder difficulties, because every time you beat it, you unlock a new difficulty till you get the last one. So
I like New Game Plus stuff, so I'm a big fan of like how Miles does it is good, where you only unlock certain things in New Game Plus when things are much harder. If you don't like revisiting games, you would hate that, but I like it, so.
I think it depends on if it should be behind the 100% thing. Like for a storyline thing, like that makes sense to me. Like, oh wait, like you didn't like stop all the bad guys, you just skipped like some optional missions, so they're still out there. Versus like you definitely erased all the bad guys from existence. Now you can get true peace, et cetera, et cetera. But like traditionally, no. I would much rather not have to get 100% on a game, because what a game decides is 100% can be different than what a person thinks is 100%. Like, I'm playing through Bloodstained right now. To me, 100%ing Bloodstained is like getting all the map clear and then like maybe getting the shards. I don't want to buy every weapon that I didn't pick up.
Yeah,
they're weaker than what I currently have. Stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Like I don't pay attention to achievements, so when people say like I platinum something, I couldn't give a shit less about extracurricular activities that somebody decided I should do in a game. I like the game deciding this is like I really like when it just says you have 100% of the game done. Like then I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like the game told me I did all the things that they want me to do, and I'm okay with that. I'm not a crazy huge fan of like a true ending being behind having to do that stuff, but I like to get something for doing that stuff for sure, even if it's just something small or useless.
And they can't do anything like too critical from a storytelling perspective in that true ending, because most players aren't going to see it. So they have to like keep that in mind if they're going to do kind of like a sequel or something.
That's kind of the
point, why they'll probably put like some sort of like sequel bait or like, you know, after credit scene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is this my question?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Suka writes in and says, what was the longest you've ever been hyped for a game to come out? Oh, I can answer that easily. Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh my God.
You would consider yourself hyped the entire time?
I was definitely hyped for Duke Nukem Forever because I love Duke Nukem 3D. So
sure.
Okay. Mine's got to be Brawl. Like I was on Smash Dojo every day for a good chunk of time. Just looking at all the new news. I think it's Brawl.
I mean, if we're talking about a good game, then sure, Brawl, because the way they did the character rollout for that was really well done.
Sure.
I don't think it has to be a good game.
Remake back in 2000.
But like, I'm talking about in the sheer like sense of like length of time, it's definitely Nuke Nukem Forever because that thing took like 13 years to come out.
Yeah, it did.
Paul, did you answer?
I did. Resident Evil Remake, 2002.
Okay. Tetris is a name we all recognize. It is one of the pillars of video gaming, but there is a lot of games that bear the name without being Tetris, such as Tetris Attack. Is Tetris 99 considered Tetris? How far from Tetris can you get while still calling yourself Tetris? Should all these versions of Tetris count as one game to consider for the best-selling video game list of all time? Well, Tetris 99 has regular-ass Tetris in it, so yes, it counts as Tetris.
Tetris is a copywritten term as well. There are other games with Tetraminos that legally can't call themselves Tetris.
Yeah, Tetris 2 isn't Tetris. Even though it has some of the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a game-by-game basis. Yeah, Tetris Attack definitely is not Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they were using the branding name because they knew the name Tetris sold, so it made sense.
Yep.
You think the regular Tetris 99 mode, would you call that Tetris? I would.
I would, because you're still playing Tetris.
You are,
and it's just the Tetris multiplayer expanded.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's that like Topple Tower one that it's all Tetris?
Oh, Tricky Towers.
Tricky Towers.
Yeah.
I would not call that Tetris because you're
Fuck that game.
So this like last one here, should all versions of Tetris count as one game?
No,
that's a weird. I don't think so.
I wouldn't compare Game Boy Tetris and Tetris Effect, for example. They're both at their core Tetris, but they're both very different experiences.
Sure.
Yeah.
So in our usual insanity, we were talking about movie series that jumped the shark, and the topic strayed to Air Bud and crossovers that could happen. Waterworld buddies, Armageddon buddies, WWE buddies. Where would you want to see the Air Bud franchise go? Well, I mean, Scooby-Doo already went to wrestling, so Air Buds has to follow.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the Buddies franchise has to follow.
Sure.
Air
I think
Bud.
they could go in Fast and Furious, put a dog in one of those cars. How has that not already happened?
Yeah. Racing another dog that's really fast. That would be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like one's like a golden retriever, and the other one's like a black lab.
Yeah.
Good versus evil or whatever.
Yeah.
There'd be like a zany chihuahua in there. It has to exist. There has to be a dog race. Yeah, there's that. What's that Rain one? That's a dog racing movie. It has Rain in the name. I'm not gonna remember what that's called. Someone in the chat help me out.
Is it Air and the Bud?
The Air and the Bud.
Air and the Bud. Yeah. To Air to Bud. The franchise, what you got? Mad Max.
Uh-huh.
So it would be like a post-apocalypse Air Bud. See that?
Yeah. Oh, they've kind of done everything.
Yeah. Air Bud did it first.
Yeah.
They did superheroes because there's like super buddies, right?
Yeah. As the Air
Someone
Bud and
got pronounced it
Scooby-Doo are the
Fast and the
two
Furious.
series
There
that
we go.
have hit them all. All right, last question from Suku. Inspired by an old podcast episode, the age-old question, Sub-Zero or Scorpion? To make it clear, we are talking about the original version, so Mortal Kombat 1, no expanded lore.
Scorpion, he's always been my favorite and still is.
If we're just doing Mortal Kombat 1, it's definitely Scorpion.
I don't know enough about the differences, but I always like Sub-Zero.
Okay.
If we were talking later games, I would go Sub-Zero, but if we're talking just first game stuff, it's Scorpion.
What changes? Why is your swap?
They change a lot with the lore eventually. So like the original Sub-Zero dies,
right?
And then his brother takes over. That's the one who has like the puffy vest in like Mortal Kombat 3 and doesn't wear a mask anymore. And then he's the one that does all like the other stuff later on, like Noob Saibot is the original Sub-Zero that you played in the first game who gets killed. So the original Sub-Zero becomes Noob Saibot, but then his brother becomes the new Sub-Zero and then goes on to do like a bunch of crazier shit. But he also gets a lot cooler and uses swords and shit. So yeah. If we're talking classic Scorpion, if we're talking expanded, we're saying Sub-Zero.
Always Scorpion. I don't care about Sub-Zero at all.
You like freeze people? That's always fun when you're fighting. All right,
Nope.
VGC Kenny. Yeah. Unlike what happened to the VHS and many before it, when new things came about, the DVD has not gone the way of the dinosaur. Rather, it's still alive and kicking. I'm curious. The PS4 and Xbox One both have had an extended period of cross-gen games, and the PS5 and Xbox Series X are following suit, even going so far as to enhance previous generation titles. You think the PS4 and the Xbox One will end up being the DVD to the PS5 and Xbox Series X's Blu-ray? If not, will we ever reach that point in the console market?
What a question.
I think you're going to see, I think you're going to see this generation take the longest to fade out.
You mean the PS4, Xbox One generation?
Yes.
I think so too. Especially with, I think more so on the Xbox side, because those ones are kind of more linked together. A bit more of a break with the PS4 and 5, but like I have a feeling you'll be able to like use those for quite a while.
That could be.
What do you think? How long do you think the Switch is around for? Because that thing is selling so much.
I think next year we finally get that long rumored upgraded version of it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
No. But I think the Switch as a concept, as a system idea, will be around for probably at least another 5 years minimum.
Yeah,
sure.
True. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if other companies wanted to get in on the port. I mean, I guess they are through streaming, so it's a different way of doing it. Next question from VGC Kenny. I've heard that the reason Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi can't do things like create good versions of enemies or create new races is because around 2009, 2010, roughly, they had this big meeting at Nintendo where they decided people were having too much fun adding unique stuff to Mario canon. They were going to regulate Mario stuff. So if they can't do that kind of thing with Mario, what other Nintendo franchise would you like to see this stuff happen with?
I like how the implication here is like, yeah, you guys are having too much fun. Let's stop that.
Yeah, that's really good. Holding the fun hostage.
Well, I'm assuming their argument was something like you're diluting it, you're diluting the quality.
Yeah,
there's too much silliness or whatever. I was gonna, someone just said it in the chat. I was gonna say Star Fox. I think that needs like a fresh, anything fresh anything.
Yeah.
Let's get past the first story for once, since they keep rebooting it.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, something brand new.
If it means that they're actually going to make more F-Zero stuff, they should be doing more F-Zero stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty good with Zelda. Like every Zelda is pretty unique and adds quite new things to it, in my opinion.
And they experiment a lot with Zelda, and they experiment a lot with Kirby. So really, either of those kind of no point in answering.
They could try some new shit with Donkey Kong. I'd be down.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Sure. Yeah.
Pokemon already kind of has a lot of experimenting too, so.
Yep.
Would love better experimenting with like the core franchise. Like really break away from that structure, but I don't think that's ever going to happen because it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
All right, last question from VGC Kenny. What games do you think have the best storytelling? Not necessarily the best story, but the way in which the story is told.
I like being narrated. Gunslinger, the last bit of Black Ops Cold War, where it's like, this is what you did and you can do something different, and the guy's like, oh, okay, maybe I had that remembered wrong, or like, I like the idea that like it's a story being told that you're playing quite a bit.
Okay, yeah, kind of adjacent to that, which I like, is like Crypt Keeper style. There's like this overarching plot going on that kind of connect them all together.
Okay, yep.
I kind of like. I mean, that's kind of one of the things I think is interesting with the Dark Picture anthology, and even with Little Hope specifically, they start hinting at some stuff is going on with that curator and the world outside of these stories. So that has me kind of intrigued.
I think that's like kind of the idea, or people are saying makes that like 13 Sentinels kind of cool. Is that it's a bunch of stories connected to like a main story that you play, and I could see that being great. Yeah. So yeah,
I need to watch that movie Vantage Point, where like someone gets murdered and then you follow like 7 people's view of it.
Yeah.
It stars the dude from Lost. I own that movie and just never watched it.
This weekend, maybe.
I also really like, kind of similar to this Vantage Point, is when you see a story and then some kind of follow up or the next part of it was the other person's perspective. And I'm thinking of like Kronk's New Groove in relation to Emperor's New Groove. And you get all these weird, like, what was this guy up to the whole time? And there's all these weird hijinks and stuff. That's fun.
Those
More games
fun.
should do that.
And then like maybe there's a scene where you see like the main story going on. It's like, forget.
Yeah, like it's in the background.
Yeah. That stuff's really fun. I watched Spider-Verse again recently, and like every time a new Spider-Man comes into the scene, it's like, all right, let's start it back again. And it just like goes through their origin story real quick. That shit's so good.
The movie's so good.
It's so fucking good.
So good.
Yeah, even talking about it makes me smile. Like, it's so good.
Just want to watch that movie again. Like, it's so good. Holy smokes.
So good. I'm trying to remember. There was a game called Stories, Destinies something or whatever. It's like literally called Stories, and you're playing through a storybook, and you're kind of like creating the story as you play, and depending what you do, like takes different paths in the story. I thought that was kind of interesting. Let me look it up here.
Are you talking about anything from Telltale?
I am not.
Okay.
The Path of Destinies is what's called. Stories, The Path of Destinies. From 4 years ago.
That sounds neat.
Yeah, it's fun.
Here, I was gonna say, like, I like the way that like Hades like slow drips its story to an extent. But yeah, no, I think y'all had much better answers than I would have had.
Dude, the fact that Hades actually takes the way a roguelite plays, and like that's part of the story, and it's integral to how the story is done and everything. It's like fucking brilliant, actually. It's really well.
The only downside to it is that if you get story beats mixed, if you get too many story beats running at once, like you're stuck waiting. You only get one story beat at a time.
Yep.
Like I'm still waiting on things to unlock that because I've got other story beats that are overwriting what I'm waiting on.
Sure. Okay. Rasterman says, can you describe one of your favorite video games in the most boring way possible? You try to find your way out of a house.
Guy flies to another country to find his dad.
Guy gets angry.
Yeah, that's really good.
The best part is I still know what game you're talking about, but I'm like, I could think of like 3 games at least that fit that.
Guy gets angry.
Oh, I can think, plenty of games are like that for sure. But then I was thinking of like Burnout Paradise, and I was like, you drive car fast?
Yeah,
you drive,
and it's like that's a whole genre.
You drive without buckling up.
Drive and listening to DJ Atomica.
That's actually the game. You could just park and listen.
All right, Boko writes in and says, Sean and the rest, I guess, how do you feel about Ready Player 2? As I recall, you liked Ready Player 1, but Ready Player 2 seems like a hot garbage fire. If you haven't got a chance to read it yet, here's a Twitter thread with some quality excerpts. I've been seeing a lot of people dunking on Ready Player 2, but I have not read either book or seen the movie of the first one. So,
right, I've seen some of this Twitter thread. People have been dunking on it all week. This book sounds terrible. I enjoyed the first one. I didn't like look too much into it. The movie is bad.
Yep.
My girlfriend just bought the second book because she actually really likes the first book. And so she was looking forward to it. So I might just read her copy just because I kind of want to know for myself.
Sure.
but it's it's a goofy, dumb time. But I currently have no opinions on the second book. I'm sure it's actual trash, but I'm kind of just curious how you continue that story, since it had quite like a pretty finite ending. Rinku writes, people always wonder what they could say to themselves 10 years in the past, but what would 2010 you say to 2020 you? My younger self would probably be shocked that I live in the States.
Oh yeah.
He would also probably be shocked that I successfully got a job with an art degree.
Sure. Probably just be like, what the fuck happened? You look tired.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of what my 2010 me would say to 2020 me.
Yeah.
Both of us would probably look at each other and be like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
But like in a good way or a bad way? Because like John, I feel like yours would be probably like good because you're like got dream job, and in 2010 you were working at the game store.
Yeah, but I have many choice words for 2010 me, and I feel like catching 2020 or catching 2010 me up on 2020 me would also be like, what?
Man, describing 2020 to any other timeline before,
like,
holy shit.
Yeah, and I don't even mean like describing this year, because describing this
Right.
year to like past years, you're like, what the fuck? You need to like get a bunker or something. Explain the last 10 years of 2010 me is just gonna be like this fever dream. It's gonna like I go insane.
But
in
hang
like
on,
years,
that's
right?
not what you're doing. 2010 is saying something to 2020. You're not giving past advice.
But yeah, no, but 2010 me has to know what 2020 me has happened to. Otherwise, it's like, what am I gonna do? Be like, yeah, you'll get a better girlfriend soon, and then you're like, yeah, I know, I married her. What are you going on about? Like,
well, I think that's what makes this kind of silly is like, since I was like a teenager back then, I probably would just tell 2020 me something stupid. That guy doesn't know shit. Yeah, I don't know what's again. He'd be like, why do you live in the States? Those people are weird. And I'd be like, you're right. I know that you're so right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I guess. Yeah. Stupid me would just be like, I'm just trying to think 2010. Like, man, nothing will ever beat the BlackBerry telephone. Like, I don't know.
BlackBerry fan back in 2010. I'm trying to think, like, maybe this is a good way to tackle this. Like, what is the most important thing to you in 2010? And then would you be telling 2020 you to like focus on that in some way? So like 2010, what was the most important thing to me in 2010? Probably like I was playing a lot of games.
Were you in high school?
College. That's the year I moved.
Oh,
moved
that
on.
was the transition.
I finished college. I finished high school, went to college.
2010, we were all working at the game store.
That's when I would have ended my time at the game store. Yeah, at the end of that summer. So 2010 would have been like, oh, look, I'm excited for university. I'm going to this good university, right? And I'm going to be like, oh, you're not. Go somewhere else.
2010 me would have just stopped working at the game store and would have started at the other job.
Yeah.
And then he would have been at a point where he wasn't sure what to do about like YouTube and stuff like that. So he would be excited to find out that it's my job now, because that was back when it was still just a hobby at that point.
Which job was this? Was this the security one where you worked nights?
Yeah, this was the one where I worked nights. Yeah.
Okay. I still remember you did the podcast from there. That was great.
Oh my God. I recorded YouTube videos from there. I did streams from there.
We did 4 Idiot stuff all the time from there.
Yeah. Remember when we did 48 stuff and I was on call and then like I had to like leave
at the beginning of it? Yeah.
Oh.
God damn. That actually wasn't as long ago as I remember now. 10 years actually Wasn't as long as I remember.
Yeah, eventually you get to a point where 10 years doesn't seem like that big of a jump.
Yeah.
But like I like thinking of it like 2010 me hasn't met my wife yet.
Sure.
And that's a weird thing to think about.
Yeah, no, for me, like I'm gonna say the opposite. These last 10 years are a huge jump for me because so much has happened in the last 10 years for me. So for me, it feels like a huge jump.
Yeah, I was already working at the place that I stopped working at like a year ago. So not much has changed.
All right. Second question from Rinku. With the holiday season upon us, any horror stories you've experienced either firsthand or saw, and any lessons learned? I'm assuming they mean retail. That's what you were thinking, right, Paul?
That's what I was assuming. I've never worked retail, so no. I can tell you
One of the old EB games.
Yeah, go.
Oh, sorry.
No, go.
One of the old EB games I worked in, someone let their kid poop in the store.
That wasn't the one I was at, right?
No.
I don't remember that story.
That was Marlboro Mall.
Oh, go figure.
Yeah, I know.
I
don't remember our time being like that bad. I don't remember like dreading
our store
it.
was fine. Like the worst thing that happened in our store was when that guy stole a copy of Band Hero, like the entire thing.
And then what was his name? Chased him, right? I remember hearing about this.
Yeah,
Wasn't there at the time.
Smallhorn chased him down.
Smallhorn chased him down. Yes.
Yeah, because he was just coming in for a shift as the guy came out. Because I was working the store by myself. We were crowded. Dude ran off with it, and Smallhorn chased him down. The guy threw the Band Hero at him to try to get him to stop. So we had to report it and call the cops and all this jazz.
Yeah.
And then there was another time we had a credit card fraud, and I had to go talk to the cops and like look at footage.
Actually, I got another one. This may have been after. This is actually probably after you left because we had different managers. So yes, this would have been after you left. It was whoever, I don't remember the guy's name. It was the assistant manager. I get the cops came in and escorted him out of the store. I never found out why, but he never returned.
From the store we worked at together.
Yeah. This was after you had left. So we had a new manager, and he was the assistant manager. Never found out why. I should message Nathan and be like, "Do you remember? Did you ever find out what happened to that?" Because I still wonder to this day, what did that guy do?
Well, because right before I quit, I transferred to a different store because the same thing happened there. The entire store, all their staff got took out because apparently they were stealing. Like they were stealing stuff and like selling them for cheap.
Yeah. During the holidays, it was fine. We had like a long line, but like I don't remember anyone getting rowdy. I think that was about it for holiday stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Whose question's next?
Is it mine?
Yep.
I think it's mine. Yeah. Hebrew Lantern says the average human brain is comparable to about 2.5 million gigabytes. Your brain has reached near capacity. What do you delete to free up space?
I have so much useless knowledge in my brain. I would delete so much of it.
Yeah.
I remember the scripts to most Simpsons episodes from like the first couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Like I'm good with like it. Me and Reese bond over those all the time, but man, like sometimes it's just like I don't need this locked in my brain permanently.
Can you like pick and choose like certain interactions with people that when I remember back, it's like, oh, that's cringy. I'd rather not remember that.
Sure. Trying to think if there's like any like school lessons that I'm like, I don't need Shakespeare. Like, is that really helping me? A Shakespeare book I read.
It is a sad statement that most of the stuff you'll learn in school doesn't really end up helping.
I was trying to think like how much of probably most math I actually don't need. I'll take the basic math for sure. Maybe a little bit above that. Like feel like anything in like the later years of high school, I don't use it at all.
Because high school is designed to like give you everything you need to start any field you want, and then when you focus on a field, like the rest of that stuff is not important anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to know chemistry. I didn't need to know chemistry when I got into programming, and I definitely don't need to know chemistry now.
Right. Yeah.
Or geography for that matter.
If I go into like university classes, since they force us to take just like electives out of our thing, I don't need astrology. Or no, wait, astronomy. I definitely don't need astrology.
Yeah.
We good on that one?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Last question.
Last question from I'm 3D Homer. In honor of Age of Calamity and the new Yakuza, if you could take the story or setting of any game and replace the gameplay with the gameplay of another game or genre, what are you going with? I want Mario Kart, but Burnout.
Oh, that would be pretty good.
I guess that's technically Blur, but yeah.
That is
Or no, that's the other way around. That's taking Burnout and giving it Mario Kart gameplay. I want it the other way around.
So then what is that? Is that just like Mario Kart, but it's the crashes are better? You can't use items?
I'm not actually quite sure on that one.
Take the story and setting of any game and replace it with the gameplay. Because I was thinking of like when they said Yakuza, and then I was thinking of World's End with You. I do like Shibuya and like Japan, and that would be cool to put any games in those settings for sure, whether it's a Mario Kart or whatnot. What says LA Noire in New Donk City? Sure.
Oh man, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's a good answer, actually.
For sure. Yeah, I like that. It's just more stuff in the Breath of the Wild world. That world is just super cool.
Seems like your answer would
Warriors game.
Yeah, it seems like your answer would just be take Age of Calamity and put it in a normal RPG, like not in a Dynasty Warriors game.
Yeah, how about just Breath of the Wild 2? Can we do that? Is that happening?
I mean, it's still in the works, supposedly. Supposedly.
No.
And they already did Assassin's Creed in Japan with Ghost of Tsushima, so we got that, and that was great.
Yeah.
All right. People would like to send in questions for next week. It's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
Spider-Man.
I guess Warcraft.
Miles Morales.
Okay.
Me. If you're a Patreon subscriber, stay tuned. We are going to be going live with our Mega Man 11 episode shortly after this one. Otherwise, if you're a Patreon subscriber, look for that audio link soon. And if you're not, you should be, so you can listen to us talk about that.
Also,
as well.
Yep, you got it.
Next month, we are going to be playing through and talking about Bug Snacks. That won the TDP poll.
Yeah,
so I'm excited about that. And last thing, once again, I mentioned it last week. December 1st, we are going to be putting out the TDP Community Game of the Year survey. So start thinking. You're going to have all of December to put your answers down. So start thinking what your games of the year are, what your most surprising games, disappointing games, best audio, all that stuff, so that we can have a cool community bash at the end of the year. Until next week. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.